Being the son of the most accomplished professional golfer of all time doesn't necessarily mean you'd follow a similar path as your father, but for Charlie Woods, it all seems possible. Tiger Woods' 13-year-old son is on his way to becoming a successful golfer and has already made a name for himself in this elite sport. So in this video, we'll take a look at Charlie Woods' career so far, starting off with the father and the son duo at the PNC Championship.
Individual to our sport.
Thank you very much, Tiger. We're going to go straight to some questions. If you can raise your hand, please.
Tiger and Charlie Woods represented Team Woods at the iconic PNC Championships held at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club in Orlando, Florida once again. This is their third consecutive time at the event, and some may see it as part of a less serious time in the golf calendar, but Team Woods always shows up with a strong commitment, and definitely not fooling around. Tiger and Charlie Woods' last two performances at the championships definitely proved that. In the 2021 PNC Championships, Team Woods reached the final round and finished 5th with 3 shots off the lead. Even though fans were just glad they got to see Tiger on the golf course again, it was obvious he was there to win and not just for photo ops. Together, the father-son duo managed to nab 11 straight birdies from the 6th to 17th holes. What made this run even more memorable was Charlie Woods striping a 5-iron to 4 feet on the par 3 17th, which put them in a tie for the lead with John Daly and his son John Daly II. The young boy also made a tournament record by dropping the putt for the solo birdie, which marked 11 straight circles for Team Woods. The 13-year-old's putt celebration also reminded the fans just whose son they were watching. The young golfer raised his putter and copied his father's signature celebration, and this made the whole event even more iconic than usual. Moving on to Charlie Woods already learning how to trash talk.
I said it can happen out here, and I shot about the score. Maybe could have got maybe 1 or 2 out of.
Tiger Woods himself is definitely not known for being that vocal on the golf course. His style is usually laid back and silent, but his son has already gathered some reputation for being quite the trash talker. During the 2020 PNC Championships, the little golfer reminded everyone that size doesn't matter when it comes to trash talking. While practicing, Charlie drove the ball through the fairway, which went straight into the trees. The senior professional golfer, Mike Thomas, had the perfect response as he left him a note saying, "Draw hole." Well, later on the 17th, the young golfer held onto that note, and when Mike Thomas made a similar mistake, he kept the same note right behind his ball. Fans were astounded at the level of trash talking the young boy had achieved already, but that's just one of the factors that show how much he's grown as a professional golfer. It just shows the natural confidence that he has. Mike Thomas's son, Justin Thomas, even talked about that confidence later on and claimed that for some reason, Charlie just always wanted to beat him. He also added that he could trash talk better than his father and that he was just looking for an opportunity to talk back. This obviously doesn't come from a bad place, as Team Woods and Team Thomas are mostly involved in a rivalry of their own at these championships. Let's see which team would get to settle it once and for all. Following up with the 15-time major championship winner taking his spot as a caddy.
Tiger, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, Tim.
You've given everything as you always do, but it's not to be that you'll play at the weekend. Just reflect.
Being a father is a full-time job, and no one has illustrated that better than Tiger Woods himself, who showed up at his son's golf tournament to act as his personal caddy. That's right, Charlie Woods was accompanied by his golf legend father at the President's Cup tournament, where the young boy played his career-best game. He began the round 1 over par, but with a series of birdies and an eagle on the par 5 14th, he was way ahead of himself. The 13-year-old managed to shoot a 4 under par final round 68 at Notah Begay III's Junior National Golf Championship in Howey in the Hills, Florida. With this performance, it was obvious that having a world-class professional golfer as your caddy had its advantages. With his career best finish, he was tied at 4th place in the boys' 12 to 13-year-old division. Charlie spoke more about the advice his father had given him during this tournament. He claimed that Tiger told him to stay patient and just play. At one point in the game, he was about to shoot an albatross on the 14th hole, but it just glanced off the cup. Charlie claimed that when he had hit it, he knew it was going to be a good shot, and when it started trickling down, he knew the shot was going to be close, but not close enough. During the entire tournament, his father was just a silent observer as he watched Charlie rise and give the best performance of his career. Let's take a look at what the 13-year-old player has learned so far.
Hit a good shot, and wind gusts hit it and then end up in a burn. And
Charlie has already impressed a lot of critics as they eagerly await to see how far he goes. At just 13 years old, he's already on the road to becoming a millionaire, and he hasn't even turned pro yet. At the recent PNC Championships, Team Woods finished 4th and took home the prize money that amounted to $45,167. At last year's 2021 PNC Championship, they were the runner-up team, which awarded them $80,000 as prize money. Charlie has an equal share in this prize money, so it's safe to say he's earning way more more than most teenagers out there. To add to this, the Wealthy Mint website claimed that his total earnings so far ranged from $1.5 to $5 million. With this track record, NIL platform Open Doors' senior director Sam Weaver claimed that he might become a millionaire before he could turn pro. He likened him with Arch Manning, Bronny James, and even Shaquille O'Neal's sons, as all of them have benefited from the star power and influence that comes with their names. Weber also added he wouldn't be surprised if the same brands that worked with his father would also involve him in their campaigns. The recent Nike commercial that featured both the father and son proved that this was in store for the 13-year-old. With discussions around nepotism in the entertainment industry making waves, it'll only be a matter of time before the fire spreads in the sport industry as well, and that's just a whole other ballgame. Moving on to why Tiger Woods asked his son not to copy him. There have been fan edits out there with fans comparing Charlie and his father together. It's pretty clear the young boy looks up to his talented father as he copies his celebration stance almost all the time. Side-by-side comparisons of the father and son also reveal how they both approach this game in similar ways with the same amount of intensity and attention. But in a recent interview, Tiger Woods explains that he wants his son to copy another great golfer. During the Hero World Challenge, the 47-year-old professional golfer told NBC that he suggested to his son to copy Rory McIlroy's swing instead of his own. The golf icon reminded his son that Rory has never made a shot without maintaining perfect balance. He claimed that no matter how hard he swung, his balance was always perfect, and that's why he didn't want Charlie copying his swing, because he clearly had to learn from the best. When asked about any other advice he left his son with, the father shared that he often reminded him that without putting in the work, he would never get the results that he wanted. Tiger's also following in his father's footsteps, as his father Earl also introduced him to golf. Without that fatherly guidance, we would have never gotten the best golfer known to man, and now Woods hopes to achieve that with his own son Charlie. He claimed that if he couldn't get through to him, no one could. Following up with the young boy chiding his father's gameplay. Being the son of the greatest golfer doesn't mean you can't be his critic. At the recent PNC Championships, Team Woods failed to win the tournament once again, as Team Singh ended up defeating Team Daly for the coveted trophy. And with this defeat, the 13-year-old Woods handled the press quite gracefully and even added a few jokes at his father's expense. When asked about how he considered his father's performance to be in this tournament, the young player was quite frank. He explained that his father's performance surprised him, as he played the best he's played in a long time. Tiger Woods gave a slight smile and followed that up with an equally cheeky comment saying that he used to be good. The 47-year-old made an epic return to golf at this year's Masters after he suffered a horrific leg injury in a car crash. The golf star was even seen limping at the PNC Championships as he walked behind his son to most of the points. He was also set to play at the Hero World Championship but dropped out of it last minute. It seemed that he was only committed to playing at the PNC just to support his son. We really do admire his strength and devotion towards his son. Wrapping up with the son having a similar type of injury. Tiger Woods wasn't the only one from Team Woods that was seen limping across the course. His son was shown limping on one of the days of the tournament. In a press conference, it was revealed his ankle was troubling him. Tiger claimed that his ankle was bad, just not as bad as his own. Despite the injury, the 13-year-old star pulled through and showed up for the tournament the next day and ended up performing even better. Team Woods finished 8th in this year's PNC tournament, and without these injuries, we might have gotten better results from him. Let's hope next year is theirs. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Charlie Woods' career so far? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.
End up in bad spots, and just never got anything going.